I think I'm starting to understand. I think I'm starting to understand the hurt, the pain, and the things that y'all go through. It's not a subject that I like to bring out or up on my channel too much, but uh, if I'm going to correct some behaviors for some black men, then I can try to understand the position or the position in the home for the black woman. And it hurts. It hurts. It's got me stuck with an opinion, at least partly responsible. And my opinion has changed. My opinion has changed. And it's hard to understand. But now, based on the testimony of one young woman, I understand. I understand why y'all do what y'all do. This message is explicit. This message is for the black women only. Because today I saw tears, not on my behalf. It was all over a court show that got me to thinking why our women are hurting, why our women feel bad about themselves, partly, but the hurt, which I'm about to get into, and the sudden realization that I had today was all about a court show. And it's one of those shows that's like a paternity court. And I can't think of the lady name who holds it, but every now and then I catch some episodes, but you have nasty behavior and the talk that goes between the parent or the supposed parent, meaning the men versus the women, in a court proceedings. But I understand the pain. I understand the abandonment. And a lot of women are hurt. A lot of black women are suffering. And you know why? Partly it's the black man's responsibility to make her feel comforted, loved, committed to, respected. And by today's standards, she don't have that. She can't say that she has that. And if any of my subscribers are women, which I think I do have most of the women, I don't bring up this conversation because it is what it is. But I understand the hurt and the abandonment. And I think about their position here in America, and she's been totally mistreated, looked over, hoodwinked, and she has nothing left in the bank. And then her behavior uh, becomes so erratic. She basically start to do some of the things that the men do, but it's because of that pain, and nobody wants to be abandoned. I genuinely believe everybody wants to be loved. And right now, I don't think she's getting that. Doesn't have the support, doesn't have the understanding. And so she goes on her own accord. And to be loved is one of the greatest emotions that God created. Who doesn't want to be if you're not cold and heartless? But as a community, we owe the black woman. Our community owes the black woman. She's been the saving grace, the pillar of the community, and in and outside of the community, all around the world. She gets very little respect. She comes after the white woman. Just a thought. She comes after the Asian women. And so she's clinging on and watching other races succeed. And that toe line on the other end, who she's pulling for, or to help her pull herself up out of the situation, is the black man. And to my degree, as I said before, just lazy as hell. And so she's now become rejected by the black man in some cases. No support whatsoever. Just turn on TV, y'all. Y'all see the same thing I'm seeing. And that's a lot of hurt. And you know what she winds up doing in order to get the black man to love her? She gives up herself, her integrity, all just to be loved by you. That part was for the black man. And then when she gets put into a corner, she has to fight her way out, not just against you, but compete with the other women, the other races. And she's not being loved. So that's some of the responses you see out in public. That's some of the responses you see when she is coming up out of the corner. And she got to fight against everybody. And yet, the man who's actually behind is pulling on the line and he lets go. So, what do you think happens to the black woman? Emotionally, financially, the tug is too much. So, the percentage of who I'm mad at, really not the black woman. I blame her when her behavior gets out of control. I blame her when she know what the right thing is to do and choose not to do it. You know why? It's because of the black man and all the fights that she got with everybody else. A hero being ignored, a champion without a belt, a winner without a trophy, a mother without a blue ribbon. And I just started to realize that. That's why some of the behavior is suspect. I looked at my mother as a champion. She beat all the odds. She took care of not only two kids, she took care of her mother, ran a business that supported who? The entire family. Everybody worked with my mother. And she did that at a very young age. She didn't let the behavior of men, including my father, stop her from living out her dreams. And she started her own business. That's powerful. My mother was not to be ignored, or you will soon understand why she drove so hard to help everyone, even her mother. In the end, that's who I should have got most of my information from about understanding the position of the black woman, my mother. Who knows what her thoughts and her ideas of the future would be? And once again, that's your story too, to the other women out there. At this point, it really doesn't make much difference in the races. But black women, emotionally, are struggling on how to help and be a helpmate with a man or any other man for that matter. But they are left alone with little honor, a superhero, a heroine fighting all odds, and yet she is not loved like she should be. Give birth to young men and young women working 2 and 3 jobs, and the black man is still sitting on his ass. This was a warning shot because women, I now understand why you do some of the things you do. Now I do understand why you have to do some of the things that you're doing. It's called protection. It's called investment. It's called love, honor, and support. But yet she's not getting it from the very few people that she should be getting it from. And now it's just basically down to rebellion. So now she's actually imitating some of the behavior of the brothers who she loves so much, supported so much, worked for so much, and yet left behind, denied, as in employment, all the other avenues you can go into. We are already behind as a black family. Now, do you see what I'm talking about? No fathers in the home, which at this point in time, she basically starting over. But that father not being in the home goes decades. I'm not talking about something that just happened recently. I'm not talking about behavior that just happened recently. Recently, and sometimes I feel bad about having to try to correct behavior for the woman. That's why there's very few videos about any type of odd behavior or criminal behavior about women, because I understand my mother, and that's all I had to represent me or to teach me about how to become a man. That's all I had. She was left with trying to teach me, her son, and y'all's sons how to become a man. And the chain has been broken, but nothing is impossible. I really feel bad now. And you want to know what led me to understand? That court case. And this is how it went. Of course, she was trying to determine uh, her daughter and her children, the paternity. And she went into court, clowning, talking bad about them. Remember, I just told you about the behavior. And there's 2 men in the defendant podium. I mean, there was one guy specifically saying that he wasn't the father, and he had his reasons why. And this will show you the connection. You know his reasons why? She has given herself out to everyone she knew, had sex with many men, and the judge looked at the man and let him kept going. I mean, well, he kept going, and then the other brother stood up and said basically the same thing. She's a go-to girl if you just want to bleep, the go-to girl. The judge paused, and the woman looked at the judge looked at the woman and said, "Why? Why did you do it? Or better yet, did you do what he just said?" You know what she said? "Yes, ma'am, because I was bullied." I was picked on. I was abandoned. So yes, I did sleep with a whole lot of men. And then you could see the tears. And then you could see the people in the background. You know how you watch those court shows? Nobody was laughing because everybody understood that her emotions. Audience couldn't see the tears, but you could see the women and the men taking off the glasses. And then one of the defendants said, "Well, you know, she's just a jump off." And those kind of words. I mean, just running her down. And she said, "Yes, I am." That's what she told the judge. It's the part of the reason why I did that, man, was to feel love. So I didn't matter, it didn't matter to me that they was calling me the neighborhood whore. It's because I wanted to be loved. Tired of getting abandoned. Tired of being left behind. And all I wanted to do was have somebody to love me back. Dead silence in the courtroom. So to that degree, black women, I'm apologizing on behalf of the black men because we owe you so much more than to be mistreated, called bees, called hoes, called everything in the book. And this is what brought that young lady to tears. Even the two defendants stopped laughing because that hurts. And based on what I saw and what I witnessed, black woman, I'm sorry. And that story was on TV today. So I stopped what I was doing in order to post that message out to the black women. My apologies. We all in the community, we all in the community can do better about supporting you. But that woman's tears broke me. What nothing else negative could be said at that point. But she told the judge her reasons and her feelings about being mistreated, picked on, and abandoned and used. But it didn't matter to her because all she wanted to do was be loved. That's a story that just hurt so much for a young woman, 20 something years old, going through all that hurt and pain and had to explain herself and her emotions and why she felt like she felt in front of the world to see. But I can understand that. My prayers go out to the black women all around the world. I understand you now. And I got a whole lot more respect for you than I ever did for the black man. I owe you. And young brothers out there, if you got a mom, you think about this. Respect, give her honor, give her praise. Because right now, she's the only one saving the black community. Because if she goes, we are done. My prayers go out to everyone from the son of James. Peace.